All right, let's continue. How you guys doing? I'm hoping the stream worked and that I don't have an error. Let's see what's going on. Yeah, I hope you guys can see. I don't know. All right, I'll start. If you don't hear me, if there's an issue with the stream, let me know. So we'll give people time to come in, and as they do, we're gonna start with the refresher story. Just to start. A trafficker of stupefyers gets 5 years in prison. So the let's see what's going on here. They put their hands on 10 keys of cane, 18 keys of M&Ms, 13 keys of so there was, I guess, 18 keys were M&Ms. I'm not sure. Then they said there's another 13 keys. Okay, I guess the first one's powder and the second one is the units, pills basically. And then you have 1,000 units of Xannies and 3 pounds of green plant. 100 grams of how you call these, of what's the word, synthetic green plants, the synthetics. 98 units of Cialis. I don't want to say it, but I didn't have a choice. 1,000 of mLs of GH, and with the letter B at the end. Let's see what's going on. So that's pretty healthy bust right there. They put their hands. Yeah, a Montrealer got 5.5 years Tuesday. So when did this happen? That's what I'm interested in. The person's name is Simon Ouimet, 39 years old. That's the guy. So they're saying that important quantities of stupefyers were found in his apartment in Côte des Neiges. That's a neighborhood, Côte des Neiges, NDG. And in his car at the moment where there was a search warrant made on July 2021. And they're saying here, quote, "We're speaking about astronomical quantities," says Maître Thériault. The authorities found about 48,000 units of isotonizen. I don't know what that is. Oh, it's an OP, a synthetic, associated with many ODs, right? And all the other busts, the 10 keys here, the 13 M&Ms there, 18 M&Ms, the Cialis. I want to say Cialis, but I don't want to for the channel, I try to change the words, but I eventually have to do it because I end up sounding stupid. And someone's going to say, "That's not how you pronounce things." Thank you, Einstein. But shout out to DJ. Thank you so much, DJ. I really appreciate it, man. Thank you so much. Yeah, guys, help. You want to join? Help Forger out, It's not easy being your uncle, Help a good old Uncle Forger to bring you these news. Translate this stuff. It takes a lot of time, a lot of patience, a lot of disrespect, and a lot of will. But where there's the will, there's the way. You hear that, good fella? So let's get down to business. The main news today. Arrested in Peru for trafficking cane. A Quebecer accuses the government of Canada of not respecting his rights. Oh, shucks. Good old Canada. Try to get away with it. Complain about your human rights. Oh, yeah, That's what do you call it? That's hip, man. So, Francis Toupin Bergevin in the middle. That's the guy right here in the middle. We have a Beau Soleil Morin Lachance. Let's see how lucky he gets with that last name, the chance. Frédéric Dewald, arrested. So these are the 3 guys. They all sound like Quebecers to me, and arrested on the 1st of February 2023 in their condo in Lima in Peru. There you go. One of the 3 Quebecers is suspected of trafficking cane and arrested last year in Peru, says that his rights were not respected by Canadian authorities. The 3 Quebecers are suspected, by the way, and were arrested in February 2023. 2 of them were object of an investigation by the RCMP inside of Quebec. And that case is still pending or investigation or something like that. Before the Yeah, so it was they were being investigated while they were arrested. There was an investigation for two of them for something else, I guess. One of the accused, Francis Toupin Bergevin, reproaches the RCMP of having not respected his rights by transmitting to Peruvian authorities proof they obtained here. So they didn't respect his rights because evidence they found in Quebec, they handed it over to Peru. I have a hard time understanding why or what happened. But that's not respecting his rights, guys. To lay hold the obvious, to lay hold the evidence of what you're doing in that country, not respecting their laws. To come forth and show who you are, that's not respecting the rights, my friend. You're supposed to get away with it. You're supposed to facilitate that. It's a human tragedy if you don't do it that way. Francis Toupin Bergeron, 36, was arrested with two others. Right, we got that. On the 1st of February 2023, a video of their spectacular arrest was diffused on social networks. If it was February 2023, we probably talked about it. Man, how time flies, huh? Me and you, we spent a lot of hours together, friend. Before the arrest, Toupin Bergerin and Duwald were equally the object of the investigation. We know that. Let's keep going. So what's this evidence that the RCMP shared? It says here, the RCMP shared elements of the evidence with Peruvian authorities in order to help the Peruvian authorities for a process. Of course, these three people, they're not going to be charged in Quebec. They're doing something in Peru. So they're going to go through the court system in Peru and face the judge over there. And the Quebec authorities Canadian authorities are handing down evidence of who these three people probably are. Facts, honesty. But that's not appreciated. Doing the common sense thing like this is absolutely forbidden. You're supposed to get away with it. Toupin Bergevin, is detained in the pen, maximum security pen, Piedras Gordas, during 242 days until last October. He was, temporarily released or under caution. I'm not sure what it means, but was not able to leave the country of Peru while waiting for the procedures. Gotcha. And that's the pen, Piedras Gordas in Peru. Reminds me of a Mexican name, Piedras Negras. I'm sorry, I didn't want to say the N-word, but that's the name of the place. And it's a scary place, man, for cartels, man. I don't know why that came up to me when I saw this, but I always hear some of the worst things happening over there. So, hello, Anthony Serrano, the youth and Sheriff of YouTube. A mysterious prince. By the way, Sheriff, I was watching a documentary yesterday from, I can't remember, was it Crime Beat? They were doing I landed on it by accident, and I was glad to, on the FOB and FB, a documentary from there. And I saw your comment, bro. I sent you a message there. I just thought it was funny to find you there, bro. You already know all this stuff. But let's keep going. Mysterious Prince. That's the title over here. Sorry about that. Trying to give you a view. In a request deposed in the Superior Court inside of Montreal, Toupin Bergevin is asking that we divulge to him all the evidence accumulated in the repertoire of the RCMP and all communications between Canadian authorities and Peruvian authorities related to their arrest, in order for him that he could defend himself adequately in Peru. This evidence rests notably on the data extracted from telephones of Duwald and another suspect inside of the investigation called Cash. Or is that it? I guess that's it. There's a capital C there. That should be the name. Now, the lawyer for Toupin Bergerin, Maître Marc-Antoine Roch, the defender of truth and justice, who has all the integrity in the world, you know? He's a holy man, you know? Pretending that in the plot, the investigators of the RCMP are linking his client, Toupin Bergevin, to an alias called Prince. So they're saying he is Prince. His alias is Prince, which is something they found in the encrypted message between suspects, notably transactions of, or concerning, I guess, or discussing transactions of cryptocurrency, right? Because that's how they move the money for the cane. Now, we have a video shot from, I guess, it's the newspapers in Peru, because it's in Espanol. La captura de la roca. The capture of the rock. Mafia peruano, or Peruvian mafia. Canadiense exportaba, I can't say, stupefier y usaba gimnasio de fachada. I have no idea what the other half meant whatsoever. But I read it for you and did my best. The three Quebecers are photographed here while they were being followed by the Peruvian authorities. What could go wrong, you know? Always the type to be interested, you know? You got the full-fledged tattoo all around here. The same for the other buddy. Maybe a tattoo on the side of the face, I can't even tell. But like a good old common citizen, you know, that love it, man. They love the lifestyle they're living. They don't want to be part of routine. Murky interpretation, it says here. Maître Roch, the lawyer, I guess, affirms that this evidence is some circumstantial and it would be insufficient to condanger son client au Canada. I'm not sure what this means. To get his client in trouble in Canada, I guess. And that the RCMP had sent to Peru a murky interpretation of the evidence, which puts his clients at risk of being condemned and by consequence receive a sentence of 15 to 20 years. I guess it means sentenced, I guess. 15 to 20 years in Peru. The Canadian authorities, this is a quote, the Canadian authorities knew or must know that the information shared could be used to perpetuate the unjust treatment of his client, Toupin Bergevin, and to serve to sentence him or condemn him in the inequitable process, which is non-conform to Canadian standards, or not up to par to Canadian standards. So yeah, he wants to say that they should not be allowed. Let's just cut the jargon here. Let's keep going. Now, two important how could we say? Two important matters here. There's two important matters, divisive matters, I guess. Whereas many criminals from Quebec travel and even install themselves in Mexico, boy, I wonder why. Or in many Latin American countries, yeah, I wonder why they don't choose Iran, you know? Or Tunisia, you know? They're all just magically have an affinity for Latin America. I'm just saying. So whereas these criminals are traveling or installing themselves in Mexico or Latin American countries, says, and as there is more and more collaboration between Canada and police corporations in those countries, there's a debate about Okay. They're saying this case of not sharing evidence, basically, is going to become a major subject of debate in the future. It's true. How this ends will mean a lot about basically how easily it will be to be a criminal in Canada, further cementing our inability to do anything. At least they could have got justice overseas, But no, Canada won't be evil. You see how Canada is basically a joke, in a sense. And I don't mean that in a disrespectful way. It's just a fact. It's a joke. Yeah. I'm wondering how this is gonna end. I'm not gonna be surprised how it's gonna end, my friend. We both know how this is gonna end. If you've been following the one term that I use, it's Canada laws. Well, during an audience last Friday, with the judge Yvan Poulain of the Superior Court, the prosecutors of the Justice Canada Justice and the direction. I don't know how to translate this stuff. All this legal stuff I don't know how to translate well. But you got it. The justice system, our justice system, all these people in charge, announced their intention to oppose this request, saying, all right, basically they're not they want to they're going through roads that were already traveled and beaten to death. Basically, I didn't want to use this term. It's going to get me dinged. That's easily on YouTube to get dinged. Can't really translate things like that. It's really annoying. Like my video yesterday, it got dinged as well. Now, we're going to skip this. We know what it's about. Let's keep going. So they're going to go in front of a tribunal with this. And basically, the story is, my friend, what you need to capture from all this is we're going to figure out if Canada is a joke outside also. If they're allowed to, look at that, another country asking for their help, but Canada is not even able to do that because it's messing with itself, It's jerking itself off. It's not even able. It's jumbling. It's jumbling outside too. We can't do anything. But I'll tell you one thing. You know what will be solved without any confusion? Immediately, there will be no freaking... but they have rights. None of this will exist. I'll tell you who you don't mess with. Don't mess with large banks. Mega corporations. Don't commit fraud against them or bilk them of their data centers or take millions of dollars from them. Then I promise you our justice system will work flawlessly without any problems at all. No Canada there, magically. I always find that hilarious. It's very funny how this works in Canada. I'm telling you, there's two different kinds of class in Canada. The ones who make the rules, who are paid to solve your problems that they don't have. And then magically your problems are never solved for decades. They just get worse. Because they don't suffer the consequences. They're not impacted whatsoever. It's no rocket science. There's two classes in Canada. Let's keep going. But keep voting for the two same political parties. The scam parties. Let's keep going. So there's a fourth individual. They name him MP. He was arrested in Canada with 30 keys of cane in a controlled drop. They were onto him. Or they are undercover pretending they wanted to buy something from him. On the same day where three other Quebecers the three were arrested in Peru. So there was a controlled drop in Canada of a fourth individual. So you see, there's an operation going here. So while these guys were in Peru and they got busted, that's in the same operation they busted someone in Canada in a controlled drop. We don't have more info than this. But he was not accused. I don't get it. So they don't have enough proof? You busted him in a controlled drop. Why isn't he accused? Unless he's working with authorities and he's getting a pardon. You know what I mean? He's cooperating and he won't be accused for that. They will go lenient on him if he helps to get the other three. Now, the reason you probably came here for is you saw Gregory Woolley's name. Now, I was shocked, but it's a nice bit of lore for us, which will also underline how evil things can be. Let's keep reading. Check this out. Related to organized crime. Toupin Bergerin has many court cases, or he has a long rap sheet. In 2015, he was arrested in a dismantling of a clandestine laboratory, which helped to create millions of units of M&Ms in Sainte-Madeleine, close to Saint-Hyacinthe. You see all the saints? But that's an old world when they used to believe in God, before they put half-naked men go to, what do you call them, to primary schools and teach them that there's more than two genders and stuff. But back then, they had the Sainte Madeleine, Saint Hyacinthe, all these saints. They named their locations like that. Their ancestors are turning in their graves right now. Let's keep going. So, 1 year earlier, he was arrested with multiple people when they discovered dynamite and multiple arms. The police of Laval discovered it. On the 31st of August 2019, he was seated in face of Chief of Gang Gregory Woolley in a supper which took part with members of the Hells Angels in the penitentiary of Drummondville. You have the picture here. Where is Gregory? Here he is. Gregory Woolley is right here. Do you see him? Now they're saying that he's eating in front of Gregory Woolley. Now the text is murky. You can't really read it. It's blurry, I mean. I think it's him. I can barely make out. I think it's this guy. You see him? Now, he looks kind of black here. But they said he's sitting in front of him. But this guy looks black. But I see a toupin here, I believe. But over here, he's definitely no black. You notice the black here? Well, I guess he has a nice nice tan. But it doesn't matter what color he is. I'm just trying to say it doesn't look like him. Anyways, so here we have Francis Toupin Bergerin. He's saying the before last one from the right of the photo. So this is the last one. The before right is definitely him. That's Toupin Bergerin seated in front of Gregory Woolley. You see Gregory Woolley is sitting here. From the back, he looks like no one. He looks like an old man. I could barely tell. Here they are having supper together with the Hells Angels in the pen of Drummondville. 2019. Gregory eating with friends. Little did he know, a few years later, he would get offed. Which one of these spoke up for him? Told them, no, let's not do this. This is a bad idea. He was one of us for such a long time. Forget about it, man. Which one of these spoke up for him? All that sacrifice he did. Hey, what's up, respecting hip-hop? How you doing, bro? I can't read the Asian name there. I wish I could. But salute to you, too. And hey, respect... hey, DJ as well. Thank you, DJ. Let's keep going. According to cops, he would have been close to an importer of cane who was very active on the south shore of Montreal. In Peru, Dewald was arrested, or was detained. Since his arrest, he's been detained, sorry. Whereas Morin Lachance was liberated. But he will be monitored in a residence 24 hours on 24. There you have it. So we got a picture of Toupin Bergevin. You know, this is not a small fry guy who's just doing his own thing. Doesn't seem like it. Seems like someone who's heavily implicated with the heads of organizations and helping in their chain, in their pipelines, to have a reliable source of cane. You see him going to Peru. No, I don't think it's just for a vacation that they arrested him in Peru, and that they were monitoring his every move. Did the Canadians make a phone call and tell him to do that? Because remember, at the exact same time, they had a controlled drop to one of their fourth member who was in Quebec, and that guy got arrested at the same time these guys were over there. Did the Canadians authorities make that phone call? But whatever the case, the Peruvian authorities were following him. This is a picture of a footage that they grabbed while they were monitoring them, the Peruvian authorities. And then you have a picture of him just, 5 years ago in jail, right before Gregory was released. You see Gregory having supper with the boys, who most likely didn't do anything to help save his life. How many years did he spend having suppers with them? This is the only supper he's ever had with these kinds of people? And all the time he spent in prisons? All the silence he kept, never said anything, protected all those people? The reward was getting offed in front of his baby, newborn baby, bringing her to the doctors, with his wife in the car. Think about that. We'll cut it here. Thank you for following us. I hope this episode does illuminate a little bit how things work in Quebec. If there's a lot to take from this article, this news event, about how the Quebec underworld works, and the myths of loyalty, the myth of everything going right, and you spent years with people defending their cause, been with the top of the top, and where that will land you a few years later. Maybe it'll dispel some myths for you. You're expendable, it seems. And yeah, we'll leave it there. Thanks a lot, guys. Have a great day, and don't forget to like the video. Help me out. If you haven't already, subscribe, and I'll keep you posted on the latest on the Canadian underworld news. Thank you.